Chapter 321, Shang Clan City Uproar. Despite using rank 3 peak stage cultivation against a rank 4, Fang Zheng still won. Not only did he overcome the odds, he even defeated such a strong expert like Zhu Kaibei. He is truly a promising young man. This is no doubt a grand victory. Zhu Kaibei even used his killer move Jin Transformation, but was still beaten till he sprawled on the ground by Fang Zheng, forced to admit defeat. The attack of the 8 Beast Phantoms is truly terrifying. To think Fang Zheng had the strength Qi Gu, he is too lucky. I heard this Gu was a prized treasure of his original clan. In the tea houses, restaurants, and streets, people talked in their free time, discussing the battle of Fang Yuan and Zhu Kaibei. At a point where both were at their peak, defeating a rank 4 with rank 3 cultivation was truly spectacular. There was almost 1,000 spectators at the battle stage. Everyone watched the whole process. Fang Yuan won fair and square, there was no trickery or schemes, he completely dominated Zhu Kaibei through pure strength. As for the origin of the strength Qi Gu, Fang Yuan gave out fake news and caused everyone's guesses to link to Guyu clan. From today onwards, Lord Fang Zheng is my role model. After this battle, many people started calling Fang Yuan Lord. His battle strength had gained everyone's recognition. Lord Fang Zheng is truly awe-inspiring. Zhu Kaibei's era has ended. A few female Gu masters said with shining eyes. The newer generation replaces the old. As Zhu Kaibei topples, it all contributes to Fang Zheng's reputation. Some old Gu masters exclaimed, feeling the rise of a new era. Fang Zheng defeated Zhu Kaibei, I wonder if he can defeat Yen Tuesday. If he beats Yen Tu as well, he would be the only person to dominate the battle stage in all these years. As long as he defends his position for 18 battles, he would become an external elder of Shang clan. This battle created trembles in the battle stage. The old structure was torn down, and a new force emerged. People started to look at Fang Yuan's future, feeling excitement and anticipation. Shang clan had not gotten an external elder for over 10 years. If Fang Yuan defeated Zhu Kaibei with a mild advantage, and had a tough time, their expectations might not have been so great. But after Fang Yuan displayed overwhelming strength that crushed Zhu Kaibei, they started to analyze. Fang Zheng has the all-out effort Gu, bitter strength Gu, self-reliance Gu, and strength Qi Gu. Even an ancient strength path Gu master could only reach this level. The all-out effort Gu allows his attacks to be ferocious and dominating. The bitter strength Gu allows him to get stronger as he battles, paired with the self-reliance Gu, it was simply perfection. The strength Qi Gu allows him to have a strong long-range attack, and completely eliminates his weakness. The scene of the 8 Beast Phantoms attacking together is simply terrifying. This is Fang Zheng's killer move. Zhu Kaibei's loss was no fluke. Although he is rank 4 and had the advantage of cultivation, the strength path has little use for primeval essence, limiting that advantage he had. Furthermore, Fang Zheng's Gu worms are simply too good, they form into a powerful set, and are all closely related together. Zhu Kaibei probably admitted defeat after being disheartened. How can a person's luck and encounters be this good? Fang Zheng's luck is off the charts. He had only been in Shang Clan City for a few years, yet he is already this developed. His Gu set is so strong, enough for him to spread his name in the southern border and gain his own title. Title? He already has it, many people are calling him and by Ning Bing the Black and White Demons. But even more people are calling Fang Zheng the Little Beast King. Fang Yuan controlled the 8 Beast Phantoms, and had a ferocious battle style, charging and crashing. The title of Little Beast King suited him well. As for why he is not called Beast King, that is because Beast King is already an established demonic Gu master. He occupied by Shou Mountain, using the 100 beasts as his army, and was a rank 5 Gu master, unreasonable, ruthless and evil. He was a troublesome person for both the righteous and demonic faction. Fang Yuan was still rank 3 peak stage, although he defeated Zhu Kai Bei and gained fame overnight. He was still very far from being at the level of Beast King, who was a rank 5 Gu master. From another aspect, people calling him Little Beast King meant that they are thinking highly of Fang Yuan and his future. I am looking forward to his battle stage defending battles. Every dominating expert's defense battle is a classic. Back then, Lord Wei Yang used rank 3 middle stage cultivation, even weaker than Fang Zheng now, to dominate the battle stage. Every one of his battles was a classic. A senior Gu master recalled. Soon, many people started discussing Fang Yuan's future prospects. At this point, how many are Fang Zheng's match? Zhu Kai Bei, Yan Tu, O Right, and Bai Ning Bing. But, Zhu Kai Bei had already lost his Jin mind to Fang Zheng. He was really ruthless. Among Jin body, Jin heart, and Jin mind was the hardest to obtain. Without it, Zhu Kai Bei's killer move is not complete. To Fang Zheng, that is one less threat. Yan Tu is now Fang Zheng's greatest competitor. He and Zhu Kai Bei were each half the sky of the battle stage. His strength is no joke. But Fang Zheng is able to defeat Zhu Kai Bei, and has the strength Qi Gu to eliminate his weakness. There is a high chance of defeating Yan Tuesday. Someone mentioned Bai Ning Bing as well. Bai Ning Bing is not to be underestimated. After she lost to Yan Tu, during her next match, she had already broken through to rank 4 initial stage. A rank 4 at this age, what sort of talent is that? But she and Fang Zheng have a deep relationship. She might admit defeat when they meet to help Fang Zheng. Bai Ning Bing and Fang Yuan staying at Nanqiu Garden together was no secret. Many people guessed that they had already done intimate acts. But then, just as the discussions were at their peak, Fang Yuan suddenly announced he was retiring from the battle stage. Once news got out, everyone was shocked. Why did Fang Zheng give up such a good chance? External Elder after dominating the battle stage, it is right before him. Many people sighed in pity. Are there any hidden circumstances? The demonic Gu masters started guessing. Could it be, Shang clan does not want external elders anymore, and forced Fang Zheng to give up? Demonic Gu masters often lacked a sense of security. Or is it that Shang clan wants to revise their policy, and remove the external elder position? Suspicion caused many to become uncertain. Shang clan's recruitment of demonic Gu masters as their external elder was the only case in Southern Border. In Southern Border, many clans have battle stages. The largest and most popular battle stage lies in the number 1 clan of the Southern Border, Wu clan. But these battle stages were mostly for their own clansmen, rarely for outsiders. Shang clan's external elder policy became extremely popular as a result, attracting numerous talents. Even when they traded outside, many demonic Gu masters do not rob the Shang clan caravans. That is because of the external elder policy, and these demonic Gu masters needed a backup plan for themselves. Shang Yanfei felt something amiss, and quickly clarified the issue. Although he had secretly used the 2 pawns Zhu Kai Bei and Yan Tu to control the battle stage, such a thing cannot be exposed. Shang Yanfei's authority quickly caused this matter to close. Soon after, a few days later, Fang Yuan announced in public, he was going to assist Xianxia and help her ascend to the position of young master. Immediately, everyone's attention shifted from the battle stage to the young master competition. Because Shang Yizi's fake accounting was exposed, his young master position was revoked and there was a spot empty now. Many of Shang Yanfei's children were looking at this position with extreme greed. I heard long ago, this Fang Zheng is loyal and righteous. He had his life principles, repaying a drop of water received in need with a spring, and exacting revenge for hatred 100 times over. He truly is responsible. Someone praised him. In order to assist Xianxia to attain the position of young master, he even gave up the identity of external clan elder that was in sight. This is truly. Some people could not understand. Maybe he and Xianxia has some underground relationship. If it was me, I would make such a sacrifice too. That is possible. Wait. If that's the case, what about Bai Ningbing? People had their gossiping nature, and it spread like wildfire. Fang Yuan, Bai Ningbing and Xianxia's triangle relationship become a hot topic. Soon after, in a few days' time, Bai Ningbing also retired from the battle stage. Bai Ningbing also went to assist Xianxia. Someone exclaimed. What has this world become? Nobody wants to be an external elder. Some people's worldview were tarnished. Bai Ningbing has great courage, reluctant to let him go. For love, she decided to interfere. Actually the three of them and their intertwined relationship begun the moment they met. Rumors started to spread again. Countless scenarios were conjured by the people. There were even plays and dramas appearing in Shang Clan City depicting the triangle relationship of Fang, Bai, and Shang. And it was selling like hotcakes. Forget these details, but Fang and Bai's change in position did successfully make Xianxia the center of attention. Bai Ningbing was now rank 4 initial stage. A rank 4 Gu master was a clan leader in middle or small-sized clans. Although Fang Yuan was rank 3 peak stage, his battle strength was on par with rank 4 Gu masters. Once he becomes rank 4, who can imagine how strong he would become? They were both very young, and had room to grow, thus there were a lot of positive remarks about them. Getting 2 experts' help, Xianxia immediately became the second most popular person vying for the young master position. Before her, people thought that the person with the highest hope of becoming a young master was Shang Yifan. After Fang and Bai assisted her, the situation changed, and it became a contest between the two sides. Shang Yifan was not tall, in fact he was slightly short. Eagle nose and tiny eyes, he had a sharp gaze. Xianxia. He sat on the wooden chair in his study room, muttering as his gaze shifted uncertainly when thinking about this person. Before him was one person. It was none other than Xianxia. Little brother Yifan, I am here to help you. Xianxia has Fang and Bai's help, she will be your biggest competitor. Especially that Fang Zheng, you have to be careful, he is scheming and devious, he caused my downfall. Xianxia gritted his teeth and spoke. Chapter 322, Competitive Pressure. Xianxia said, I lost, but I have not failed completely yet. Father sent me to the slave capturing group for 3 years, but after 3 years, I will be back. But before that, I have some things to give you. Saying so, Xianxia passed a few documents to Shang Yifan. Shang Yifan took the documents and gave them a look. The documents contained Xianxia's secret assets, his spies, and some close aides. Brother Yazi, this is. Shang Yifan gave a shocked expression. Brother Yifan, you are the person most likely to become young master among our siblings. I will lend you a hand here and hope you manage to win. As for these resources, feel free to use them. After 3 years, I will be back, just return them to me then. Xianxia sighed. He was forced to train in the slave capturing group, he could not bring his servants and subordinates along. He was not going there to enjoy, but to be punished. Now that he lost his young master identity, these forces would collapse eventually, he might as well hand them to Shang Yifan while he still had the power and let him take care of them. After 3 years, Xianxia will return, and would not have to restart all over again. Shang Yifan quickly stood up, cupping his fists. I will not forget Brother Yazi's help. In the future, if I become young master, I will repay you tenfold. Sigh, we are brothers, there is no need to talk about repayment. He. Although he said so, Shang Yazi's lips curled into a smile. After they conversed, Shang Yifan sent Shang Yazi to the door as he left. Seeing he had left, Shang Yifan's smile turned cold. Shang Yazi, what a great plan you have, wanting me to preserve your forces for you. Then I shall use this opportunity to take over all of your assets and absorb them. This is called borrowing without returning. He knew Shang Yazi's plan from the start. 3 years. Many things can happen in 3 years, do you still think you have a chance? Humph, naive. Such naivety, no wonder Fong and Bai tricked you. You are a disgrace to us Shang clan. Shang Yifan laughed. But thinking of Fong Yuan and Bai Ningbing, his expression turned dark. Shang Xianxia. He kept muttering her name. As Shang Yazi fell, he thought this young master position was in the bag. But to think Shang Xianxia appeared out of nowhere and became his biggest obstacle. Shang Yifan's eyes squinted, as he analyzed to himself with shining eyes. Shang Xianxi's greatest advantage is father's affection. Father dotes on her more than his other children combined. But there are clan rules, as everyone competes for the young master position openly, father would not be able to cheat blatantly. In fact, because of Lord Father's favor, it caused our other siblings to have ill feelings towards Shang Xianxi, or even hostility. Shang Xianxi's greatest advantage is also her greatest weakness. Shang Xianxi's second advantage is her actual strength, that is Fang Zheng and Bai Ningbing. These two are truly. Thinking of the two, Shang Yifan's face showed strange, envious, jealous, and unbelievable expressions. These two, I don't know what they are after. They rejected the role of external elder to help Shang Xianxi. This feeling is like someone giving up on a watermelon to pick up sesame seeds. How did Shang Xianxi convince them? Her luck is really good, easily getting these two strong generals. That Bai Ningbing is already rank 4, and Fang Zheng can even defeat Zhu Kaibei. She gained 2 Gu masters with rank 4 battle strength just like this. Even their eldest brother Shang Qianyo did not have a rank 4 subordinate. Among the 10 current young masters, only the young clan leader Shang Tuahai had 2 rank 4 subordinates. But those 2 subordinates were not Shang Tuahai's private force, but sent by the clan to assist him. As the young clan leader, Shang Tuahai controlled a caravan. When he traded outside, he needed sufficient strength to deal with all sorts of situations. But now, Shang Xianxi was not even a young master, yet she already possesses the help of 2 rank 4 experts. This situation caused many of Shang Yanfei's children to feel jealousy and fear. But, even with help from those 2, so what? The position of young master belongs to me. Shang Yifan licked his lips, as he thought of something, his spirit was lifted. At the same time, at Nanqiu Garden. Shang clan has a complex and complete system of clan rules. Especially the part on successors, the rules are extremely rigid. Wei Yang stood beside Fong and Bai, in front of Xianxia, as he explained. If Lady Xianxia wants to ascend to young master, you will have to pass the Shang clan test. This test is a tradition, and there is only one type of test, which is trading. Shang clan use trade to flourish. The development of Shang clan cannot be separated from business. When Shang clan chooses a new young master, they would test their business skills. Do not look down on trading, thinking this is only a method to earn money. Trading can assess a successor's qualities, as many problems often occur when you do trade. The test is on your intelligence and planning, how you adapt to situations, your cultivation strength, and others. The clan will give any competing children a startup fund of 100,000 primeval stones. 3 months later, whoever earns the most would become the new young master. Wei Yang was clear of the clan's rules. Then, how much do we need to earn to win this competition? Fong Yuan asked. The Shang clan young master competition was well known in the city. The entire Shang clan placed great attention on it. Fong Yuan knew that he had to follow the rules here. Normally, as long as Lady Xianxia has around 300,000 by the end of the 3 months, she would eliminate most of her competitors. If she has 600,000, there would be a high chance of winning. 7 to 800,000 is the first-class result of previous year's assessments. But here, Wei Yang paused. This time, among the competitors, there is one whose mother is Lord Clan Leader's cousin. In Shang Clan, he has a rather big force. He is called Shang Yifan, the most favored competitor in this young master competition. With his mother helping him secretly, he would at least have 600,000 at the end. If you want to beat him, Lady Xianxia would need even better results. Shang Yifan would have at least 600,000, thus to get the young master position, Shang Xianxia would need to get first-class results. But Shang Xianxia had no authority or force in Shang clan. Her mother was even a Zhang clansman, causing her political weakness. She would not receive any help unlike Shang Yifan. Her only backer is Shang Yanfei, but as the clan leader, he cannot side with her openly. Thus, the pressure on her was extremely high now. After Wei Yang finished speaking, he looked at Shang Xianxia worriedly. He knew that earning 7 to 800,000 was usually due to special circumstances. Very few young masters in the previous years could achieve this. This needed talent, help, and more so, luck. Originally, Shang Yanfei did not expect Shang Xianxia to vie for the young master position so quickly. It was all due to Fong and by influencing her. After Shang Xianxia heard Wei Yang's words, she was quiet for a while before asking, "May I know, what was the best result in Shang Clan City's history?" Wei Yang was stunned. Of course it exceeded 800,000, reaching 900,000. But very little people in history managed this. The total is less than 20. Our current young clan leader Shang Tua Hai only got to 890,000, and that caused a huge commotion already. But your father, back then, he reached 920,000. Just this alone, it went into Shang clan's historical records. As he spoke, Wei Yang paused again, but the best result in Shang clan history is 1,110,000. He is called Shang Gue Kai, having a monstrous talent, but unfortunately he was a 10 extreme physique. 920,000, 1,110,000. Shang Xianxia listened as her eyes glowed brightly, as she clenched her fists tightly. She had great talent in doing business. Although Fong Yuan greatly encouraged her for this competition, she was a willing participant herself, and was not forced to do so. Seeing Shang Xianxi's expression, Wei Yang felt assured, "All right, I have to go. But before that, I'll give you some advice." Shang clan's entire attention is on this competition, do not try to take shortcuts or loopholes, and violate the rules. Trust your brother Wei, all those who tried cheating in the past had never succeeded. Young masters were the future of Shang clan, it was extremely important and no mistakes could be tolerated. Xianxia was a young master, but because of one fake accounting, he was exiled. It shows how much importance Shang clan places on the young masters and their actions. Shang Yifan had his mother's clan's backing, but they could only help him within the boundaries of the rules, they did not dare to cheat. Soon after, Wei Yang gave a few more heartfelt advice before leaving Nanqiu Garden. He was an important elder of the clan, and was Shang Yanfei's aide. According to rules, he should avoid meeting them. But he still entered and left Nanqiu Garden, explaining so much for Xianxia, it showed how much of a friend he was. Brother Wei is taking on a lot of pressure for us. We cannot trouble him any further. Xianxia said. Fang Yuan remained silent. Bai Ningbing frowned, earning 6 times the initial amount in 3 months of business, it is easier said than done. Although she was a natural genius, she had zero talent towards trading and business, feeling extremely troubled now. But Xianxia's eyes shone as she smiled, saying confidently, actually I have a good plan. As long as we succeed, I'm sure we can earn 600,000. Oh, what plan? Bai Ningbing asked. Xianxia looked deeply at Fang Yuan, stating her plan. I got my inspiration from Brother He Tu's battles when I went to watch him in the battle stage. We can do business regarding intel. Selling information. Bai Ningbing frowned. Chapter 323, Start of Three Kings' Inheritance. That's right, information business. Shang clan's battle stage has over 100 battles daily, there are so many opportunities hidden in the battle stage that we can use. I've thought about it, we can collect the Gu master information of the battle stage participants, and sell them. We can hire a few famous people to do predictions before a battle, and critique after the battle, and so on. Xianxia smiled as she answered. Brilliant. Bai Ningbing cheered. This idea was ingenious. Bai Ningbing had participated in many battles, she knew deeply how brilliant this idea was. Immediately, she knew this idea could bring in huge profits for them. Even Fang Yuan looked at her in surprise. He has thought of this idea in his previous life, even using it in Wu Clan. Wu Clan's battle stage was grander and had an even livelier atmosphere. Fang Yuan's idea created a huge commotion and earned him lots of money every day. But not long after, Wu Clan interfered, and all sorts of competition and suppression came. In just a few months, his profits sank and his business was forced to close after half a year. Fang Yuan reflected, he was able to come up with this idea because of his memories of Earth. But Xianxia being able to think of that as a native was extremely impressive, it showed her superior talent in business and trade. Although this idea was good, Fang Yuan shook his head. Xianxia gritted her teeth, does Brother He Tu think this idea is bad? The idea is good, but it won't work. Xianxia, do you trust me? Fang Yuan looked at Xianxia deeply. Xianxia smiled gently. My life was saved by Brother He Tu, what is there not to trust? Bai Ningbing snickered in her heart, but remained silent. She was an insider, along the way, she was extremely clear, Xianxia's misery was single-handedly caused by Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan nodded, since you trust me, listen to me. We just need 20 days to triple your primeval stones. Really? Xianxia expressed her curiosity, then I will listen to brother's instructions. What scheme is he coming up with this time? Who is he planning to harm? Bai Ningbing looked at Fang Yuan with the corner of her eye, guessing in her heart. San Cha Mountain, situated in the middle of Zhua clan's Leng Zhan Mountain, and Che clan's Fei Lai Mountain. Zhua clan and Che clan, the former had 600 years of history, while the latter had 580. The two were enemies, centuries of hatred and grudge, causing the two clans to be mortal enemies. For the past 100 years, the two clans were expanding, and in order to occupy San Cha Mountain, they fought. On the mountain waste of San Cha Mountain, an intense battle had occurred, and it was nearing the end. Blood flowed on the ground, as tens of Gu master corpses laid on the ground. There were 7 people still standing. 3 from Zhua clan, 4 from Che clan. Zhua clan elder Zhuo Wusheng's chest had a deep hole, as blood flowed out. He pressed down on his injury as he stood in front of Zhua Chanyu, with a solemn expression, "Big Missy, leave now, we will block them." Zhua Chanyu was Zhua clan leader's eldest daughter, having a great aptitude and was the future hope of Zhua clan. She was young and pretty, rank 3 middle stage cultivation before even 20 years old. She could not afford to die here. Elder Wu Sheng. Zhua Chanyu showed deep hesitation and dismay. Want to leave? Dream on. Che clan elder Che Yuyin sneered as he walked out. Old man Wu Sheng, to think this day would come. He, today, I will make sure all 3 of you die without a proper burial. His killing intent burst out. But after saying so, he instructed a young female Gu master beside him, Xianxia, you have an injury on you, later when we fight, stay back and keep a lookout for us. Che Xiaoxiang instantly frowned, Father, I only have a slight injury, it is no matter. I want to fight beside you. She was very worried. Zhuo Wusheng was her father's rival for tens of years, they were about the same strength. Although Zhuo Wusheng was injured, it would not be easy to kill him, his dying counterattack would be terrifying. Nonsense. Che Yuyin chided, be obedient and listen to father, this is an order. Che Xiaoxiang pouted, about to rebuke, but suddenly heard a laugh. Ha ha ha, he. Ho ho ho. This was a weird laugh, making someone feel an evil wind blowing when they heard it. Following this laughter, someone appeared on a mountain rock. This person was extremely handsome, wearing a flowery robe that had pink butterflies. He wore a floral crown on his head, and there was a red flower ball sewn onto the crown. As he laughed, the ball vibrated, causing him to look like an extremely hilarious clown. But be it Zhuo Wusheng or Che Yuyin, when they saw him, there was no laughter but intense fear instead. Ah, you are the pink butterfly gentleman. Kong Ri Tian. The two spoke out, revealing his identity. This moment, the other people's expressions also changed. Especially Zhua Chanyu and Che Xiaoxiang, their faces went pale and they became extremely nervous. This Kong Ri Tian was a demonic Gu master, having a vile reputation. He loved to wear a flower robe that had pink butterflies, thus he was called Pink Butterfly Gentleman. But the truth is, he was a serial rapist, targeting virgin women. He was extremely hated by everyone, and thus was a loner. Most importantly, he had rank 4 cultivation. Once he appeared, the battle situation changed. Zhua clan and Che clan were at their wits' end, their main fighter Che Yuyin and Zhuo Wusheng were injured, and only had rank 3 cultivation. Ha ha ha, he, hu hu hu. That is right, I am Kong Ri Tian. Although he was exposed, Pink Butterfly Gentleman was extremely happy, laughing in that weird manner again. Suddenly, he waved his sleeve, and injected his primeval essence, causing a flower petals to rain on the battlefield. The pink petals turned into butterflies, flying in the air. At once, fragrance spread throughout the battlefield. Zhua clan and Che clan quickly defended and unleashed their abilities. Kong Ri Tian used this opportunity to attack, causing the flower rain to intensify as his body moved around quickly. After 8 to 9 rounds, Kong Ri Tian's body flashed, as he retreated and left the battlefield. He retreated. That was close. Che Yuan and Zhuo Wuxing sighed together, but their expressions changed soon. My dear Chan Yu. Xiao Xiang. Scoundrel, release my daughter. The two elders were burning with anger. Ha ha ha, he, hoo hoo hoo. Kong Ri Tian laughed, as two ladies were on his left and right hand respectively. It was Che Xiao Xiang and Zhua Chanyu, having fallen unconscious as they were captured by him during the chaotic battle. Kong Ri Tian specialized in dealing with female Gu masters. Great rewards today, to think I'd find two beauties here. Ha ha ha, he, hoo hoo hoo. Kong Ri Tian was extremely satisfied, when suddenly a change occurred. The entire Xianxia mountain started trembling, as mountain rocks fell due to the tremors. What is going on? What in the world is happening? As everyone shouted in shock, 3 light pillars burst out from the 3 mountain peaks of Sanchan Mountain. 3 giant light pillars, yellow, blue, and red, extended all the way into the sky, above the clouds. At this point, a voice was heard among all present on Sancha Mountain. 3 kings' inheritance opens today, regardless of righteous or demonic, only fate matters. Everyone stared at this scene in shock. Even Kong Ri Tian forgot the 2 beauties in his arms. 3 kings' inheritance, it is actually the 3 kings' inheritance. Everyone reacted and showed an extremely excited expression. 3 kings' inheritance, oh God, all 3 kings were rank 5 Gu masters, this is their inheritance, this is actually their inheritance. 3 days later, in Shang Clan City. Nanqiu Garden, study room. Placing a document lightly on the table, brilliance shone across Fong Yuan's eyes. 3 kings' inheritance has finally opened. Looking at the date, it was the same as his previous life. This shows that in this world, even though rebirth can alter history, significant events cannot be changed easily. Now that the 3 kings' inheritance has opened, I have little time left. Once Xianxia becomes the young master, I will have to set off. Fong Yuan felt an urge in his heart, he needed to act faster. The 3 kings' inheritance was different from ordinary inheritances. The flower wine inheritance and white bone inheritance he took previously were only 1 inheritance each. But this time, it was 3 collective inheritances in one place. If he could obtain all 3, Fong Yuan's strength would increase by many times, and the rank 4 Gu worms he needed would be mostly filled. At least before rank 5, he would not need to worry about resources anymore. But the 3 kings' inheritance was a demonic inheritance, it was dangerous. There were many dog groups inside, and many checkpoints to pass through. In his previous life, countless lives were sacrificed, and only after half a year did someone reach the end and obtain the inheritance. Thus, there was no point in going at the moment. News of the 3 kings' inheritance cannot be hidden. How can those 3 pillars reaching into the sky be concealed? Fong Yuan knew these 3 pillars were the inheritance entrance. But to enter, there were certain requirements. Now, I can finally mass purchase dog enslavement Gu, paper crane Gu, and exploding egg Gu. Fong Yuan analyzed. Before this, although he had cash on hand, he secretly bought the 3 types of Gu in the market. He had a vigilant nature, he did not go all in. Only when the news of the 3 kings' inheritance was released, he knew the time was ripe. Bulk purchase. 5 days later, Fong Yuan bought a large number of rank 1 dog enslavement Gu, rank 2 paper crane Gu, and rank 1 exploding egg Gu. Not only Xianxia sees 100,000 primeval stones, but also the 300,000 he had just gotten from Bai clan. Fang Yuan had once extorted 3 million primeval stones from Bai clan, they had paid almost half of it already. Adding in Bai Ningbing's money, Fang Yuan's purchasing plan was a big success. Chapter 324, Earning a Fortune. Xianxia used all her funds to buy these 3 gu worms. In the study room, Shang Yifan was holding onto a piece of paper. This document was sent over by his mother. Shang Yifan's mother was Shang Yanfei's cousin, she had great influence and many informants. Rank 1 Dog Enslavement Gu, Rank 2 Paper Crane Gu, and Rank 1 Exploding Egg Gu, what use do they have? Shang Yifan frowned deeply, thinking hard but could not arrive at an explanation. I heard Xianxia gave the entire 100,000 to Fang Zheng. Although Fang Zheng is strong in battle, I've never heard of his talent in business. Randomly purchasing like this would only cause harm to himself. Did I overestimate them? Shang Yifan pondered. Although he did not have high cultivation, he had trained his own ability in doing business, he had great understanding of the market. Generally speaking, buying gu worms in bulk like this, any experienced trader would not choose such a method. Because this investment had no prospects. But as Shang Yifan continued thinking, the uneasiness in his heart did not go away. He felt that he had missed something, as if there was a deep scheme behind this nonsensical bulk purchase. At this moment, the old steward reported outside the door, "Young master, something huge has occurred, I need to report to you." "Oh, please come on, old Zhang." Shang Yifan quickly asked him to come in. This old Zhang was his mother's capable subordinate. He had rank 3 peak stage cultivation, able to hold his own and had great experience. Shang Yifan could not treat him like an ordinary subordinate. Shang Yifan's mother had also instructed him to be courteous to old Zhang and seek advice from him to learn more about trading. Old Zhang walked in, his expression solemn. "Young Master Yifan, things are not looking good, there are news from San Cha Mountain, that someone had discovered the correct method to enter the inheritance." Although the 3 kings' inheritance opened earlier, separated into 3 pillars of yellow, blue and red light, there were special criteria set by the inheritance and nobody could enter. During these few days, after many people experimented and tested, they finally found the way to enter the 3 kings' inheritance ground. Hearing old Zhang's words, Shang Yifan showed intense curiosity. "Oh, what does one have to do to enter the 3 kings' inheritance? Wait, don't tell me." Suddenly his expression changed, as he stared intently at that document on the table. He thought of a possibility, as he slowly stood up. Old Zhang laughed bitterly. "Young Master Yifan guessed it, that is correct, to enter the inheritance, 3 different gu are needed. To enter the yellow pillar, the inheritance of King Quan, a gu master needs to refine the rank 1 dog enslavement gu. To enter the blue pillar, King Xian's inheritance, the gu master needs to have paper crane gu. If they want to enter the red pillar, King Bao's inheritance, they will need at least 1 exploding egg gu." "How can this be?" Shang Yifan screeched. He fell on his seat, dejected. He finally understood why Fang and Bai bought these 3 gu in bulk, so this was the reason. Right now, news of the 3 kings' inheritance had spread all over the southern border. The inheritance of 3 rank 5 gu masters together, who knows how many people would gain interest and want to go and get their share of the pie. But to enter it, one needs at least 1 of those 3 gu. But right now, in Shang Clan City, all of these 3 gu belonged to Xianxia. As long as one is not a fool, they can imagine how much profits she can earn by sell those gu worms. Shang Yifan was not stupid, in fact he was smart, at least more than Shang Yizi. Where did they get such information? And so precise. No, now is not the time for that, it is no longer important. More importantly, how am I going to stop them? An eerie light continued to flash in Shang Yifan's eyes, as he concentrated in thought. But a moment later, he showed despair and helplessness. There was no way. Xianxia did an excellent job here. It was a very normal investment, but because of the Three Kings' inheritance, it became a completely different story. When they purchased the Gu, Xianxia used way more than 100,000 primeval stones, but that was not against the rules, at most it was a curveball. As long as they can earn primeval stones, and calculate her profits based on her initial capital, there was no problems. If Shang Yifan wanted to find problems here, he had no reason to. That is because he also borrowed forces from his mother, such as old Zhang. To speak the truth, his curveball was way worse than Xianxia's. Young Master Yifan, the other party had the most accurate information this time. After they deal, their capital can at least triple. We cannot find any problems with them, nor can we use any underhanded means. We have to use our remaining time and do our own business. With Madam's influence in the city, in 3 months, you will have at least 600,000. Young Master, we can still win. Old Zhang explained. Yes, we can only hope so. Shang Yifan breathed out deeply, but the worry in his heart did not go away. Regarding the young master competition, this was just the start, but he had already received such a surprise. Who knows what might happen later on? The confident Shang Yifan started to become doubtful. Three kings, they referred to King Quan, King Xian, and King Bao. Their origins were traced back to 300 years ago. The three kings came from Wang clan. Wang clan was exterminated by their mortal enemy Wu clan 1, but they missed out 3 children from Wang clan. These 3 children, 2 males and 1 female. The eldest was 8, he would become the future King Quan. The youngest was 5, he was King Bao. As for the female, the future King Xian, she was only 6 at the time. Wu clan was busy absorbing their remnant forces, to completely digest their gains from Wang clan. What could 3 children do? They were not even Gu masters, thus they did not bother with the children, only sending out an arrest warrant and forgot about them. The person sent to kill them was also a lazy man, he picked 3 kids to kill, faking that he had completed his mission and returned. Thus, the 3 children were unintentionally saved. They experienced hardship, suffering, and barely stayed alive. As they supported each other, they developed a deep relationship. As they grew older, their hatred for Wu clan deepened. But after Wu clan absorbed Wang clan, they got much stronger, and was a large clan that owned 3 mountains. After years of operating, their forces were even more deep-rooted. The 3 kings were alone, not even given the chance to awaken their aperture. It was an impossible dream for them to take revenge on Wu clan. But life was uncertain, and fate worked in mysterious ways. You can never know what your fate might be in the future. During one time when they risked their lives, collecting herbs on the mountain to sustain their livelihood, the 3 were thrown into an ancient inheritance ground. This was not an ordinary inheritance, it was left behind by a mysterious rank 6 Gu immortal. The 3 kings thus, experienced a change in fate. They each inherited a portion of the rank 6 Gu immortal's inheritance, and worked hard to cultivate for nearly 100 years. The 3 encouraged each other and worked hard together. When they all got to rank 5, they felt that the time was ripe, and thus, left the inheritance grounds to exact revenge on Wu clan. At that time, Wu clan was at the peak of their development. The 3 kings did not use any schemes or plot, but went straight to their doorsteps. Wu clan leader was a rank 5 Gu master, how could he endure the assault of 3 rank 5 Gu masters? Especially when these 3 rank 5 Gu masters inherited an ancient inheritance. King Quan summoned his army of hounds. As he waved his hand, it was a mighty army. The hound groups were like the sea, engulfing Wu clan village. King Xian was speedy and agile, moving like a spectre. She killed all of Wu clan's higher-ups, causing them to have no leaders and fall into chaos. King Bao was violent and direct. Once he attacked, it shocked the heavens, as he triggered the explosion of the mountain rocks. The strong and invincible Wu clan was exterminated by the 3 kings in 3 days. The 3 mountain spirit springs were destroyed. As corpses lined the mountain trails, blood pouring on the ground. It was a grotesque sight. Wu clan was completely wiped out, but the 3 kings paid a heavy price. However, they were willing to do so for the sake of revenge. After getting their revenge, the 3 kings felt that life had lost its meaning. They did not want to rebuild Wang clan. As a clan, no matter how strong they were, could not defend against true experts. They started living in seclusion, no longer coming out. They vanished like 3 shooting stars. After causing the huge event in southern border, they disappeared quickly, never to be heard from again. Nobody knows what happened to the 3 kings after that, until recently, when their inheritance appeared. King Quan has at least 3 rank 5 dog enslavement Gu. With them, one can enslave myriad beast kings, and command an army, conquering the world. King Xian is most skilled at refining Gu. She developed a unique set of Gu worms from the common rank 2 paper crane Gu, allowing her to easily get information. It was because of her that King Quan and King Bao found out the security loophole in Wu clan village. She was a huge factor in eliminating Wu clan. And there is King Bao. His temper was like fire. Every time he attacked, it would cause huge explosions that shook the lands. His power is wild and overbearing. Whoever receives his inheritance would be able to stomp on the world. 3 rank 5 inheritances. Getting 1 would allow one to rise to power, 2 would allow them to leave their names in history, and 3 would breed the ultimate overlord. This is a huge opportunity. I will not be satisfied unless I try my best. I have to hurry there. If I am late and others get it, I would regret it for life. As news of the entry method of the 3 kings' inheritance got out, many people went wild in Shang Clan City. I want to buy the exploding egg Gu. I want the paper crane Gu. I want dog enslavement Gu, paper crane Gu, and exploding egg Gu. What? Why are these Gu so expensive? The prices are 3 times as before. Tisk, get lost if you're poor. There are lots of people waiting to buy. Damn it. I'll buy it. I want to buy, I have to buy it. Numerous people gritted their teeth, scolding the unscrupulous merchant under their breaths, but still took out their hard-earned money in great pain. Chapter 325, Immortals' Blessed Land. During these last 10 days, we earned 20,000 on average a day. In total, the initial 100,000 had already tripled. We have 300,000 now. Holding on to the account book in her hand, Xianxia was surprised and delighted. 10 days into the Young Master competition, Xianxia had already tripled the initial capital in her hands. She immediately pulled apart from her competitors. 300,000, and this is only the amount earned from the Young Master's capital. Fang Yuan and Bai Ningbing had also invested much into this. Right now they earned a fortune. Fang Yuan's primeval elder Gu was no longer enough. As he bought 2 more, his total asset had reached 2,400,000. Bai Ningbing also earned a lot. Xianxia's servants, Xiao Dai and Xiao Lan, looked at Fang Yuan with a colorful gaze. They knew that this amazing result was all due to Fang Yuan. A good start was half the success. The 2 servants were doubtful of Xianxia competing for the young master position, but now they had much more confidence. But, how did Fang Yuan know such accurate information about the Three Kings' inheritance? Bai Ningbing sat at one side as she felt suspicion. The reason Fang Yuan was able to use this opportunity and earn this time was all due to the information he had. Does that mean Fang Yuan had some secret regarding the Three Kings' inheritance? Or did he have a mysterious source of information? No matter which it was, the truth shows that Fang Yuan was not simple at all. Although Bai Ningbing earned a lot as well, she felt a strong pressure in her heart. She had spent a lot of time with Fang Yuan. She found that often, Fang Yuan would bring her some surprise when she least expects it. Although he does not appear mysterious at all on the outside, he is, in fact, shrouded in a thick layer of fog. Precisely because she had spent so much time with him, she could feel this and experience how unfathomable Fang Yuan was. Brother He Tu, thank you so much this time. With this 300,000, I can better execute my plans now. Xianxia smiled and said. But Fang Yuan waved his hand. No worries, Xianxia, you had a great idea, but it is very difficult to execute. He continued, a business that sells information in the battle stage is unlike us purchasing Gu in bulk. This time, I struck when your competitors were caught off guard, but most important, it was because Xianxia who controlled the shops was gone, and there was no one managing the Shang clan shops. Without a firm leader, even if others wanted to interfere, they could not do so, and could only watch us earn this profit. But an information business is different. To start this, not only do you have a great need for resources, you also need manpower and a huge network to assist you. Otherwise, your competitors will suppress and attempt to ruin your business. Our foundation is weak, we cannot afford any failed attempts. Once we invest in a business, it has to succeed. Thus, we need to make preparations. Xianxia's expression turned solemn, nodding, Brother He Tu, you are right. But it has only been a few years since I came to Shang Clan City, I only have Xiao Dai and Xiao Lan to help me. As for network, I barely have any contacts. Xiao Dai was a servant she brought over from Zhang Clan. She was loyal, and now that she was nurtured as a Gu master by Xianxia, she had decent aptitude of B grade. As for Xiao Lan, she is a rank 3 healing Gu master that Shang Yan Fei sent to assist Xianxia. She was reliable and trustworthy. Fang Yuan laughed, Xianxia, don't think too lowly of yourself. Shang Qiwen who controls the battle stage has a good relationship with you. We can relate to each other because we are girls. At the same time, an intel business helps her revenue, I believe she will not object. Xianxia analyzed and said. Xianxia, I said I'd help you get the young master position, I have my plans, and ample confidence of winning. No need to worry, just do what I say, there is a high chance of winning. Fang Yuan reassured. I will listen to Brother He Tu's instructions. Xianxia laughed, replying with no hesitation. Fang Yuan sat on the chair, his strategizing posture gave Xianxia a strong sense of security. Xianxia, firstly, you have to recruit people. If you want to do this business, you need a large number of loyal subordinates. But before that, you need a manager. He needs to have rank 3 cultivation and must be able to hold his own, being experienced and capable at trading. I have already found such a person, his name is Zhou Quan, he was a shopkeeper under Xianxia. Fang Yuan continued to plan. Xianxia was slightly dejected, Zhou Quan. I know him. But he is a rank 3 Gu master, he is arrogant and proud. He was once Zhou clan's clan leader, having rank 4 cultivation. But after there was an internal strife, and the clan got slaughtered by demonic Gu masters, he escaped with heavy injuries, thus only having rank 3 upper stage cultivation left. He takes care of the shops and always has the best performance among all the other shopkeepers. But even Xianxia could not get his loyalty, such a person, I am afraid. Fang Yuan waved his hand, how would you know if you don't try? Xianxia, you have to become confident, trust me, you have a unique charisma. In the future, many people will serve you willingly and fight for you. Zhou Quan is a difficult target, you might not succeed, but as long as you display your sincerity, your hard work will definitely pay off. Yes, Brother He too, I will work hard. Xianxia clenched her fists. Fang Yuan nodded, good, then go ahead. Not longer after Xianxia left, Wei Yang arrived at Nanqiu Garden. Fang Yuan attended to him at the lake pavilion, I understand why Brother Wei is here, please take a seat. Saying so, Fang Yuan poured Wei Yang a cup of tea. Wei Yang laughed, Brother Fang Zheng is wise, then please tell me about it. Fang Yuan used the Three Kings' inheritance to earn a fortune, it was all because he had secret information about it in advance. Shang Yanfei was no fool, he immediately knew Fang Yuan possessed valuable information. The Three Kings' inheritance was the largest event for the last 50 to 60 years. Right now, it had affected the entire southern border, and attracted the attention of many forces. But because in the southern border's mountain terrain, danger lurked everywhere, it was not easy to get to the inheritance ground. Even so, many clans, as long as they could, sent out their respective groups of Gu masters. The inheritance of 3 rank 5 Gu masters, even the superclass Shang clan would be moved. My information came from Baigu Mountain. Grey Bone Scholar had once explored the Three Kings' inheritance grounds, and gathered some information. The truth is, the Three Kings' inheritance ground they discovered now is an ancient Gu master's blessed land. Fang Yuan answered in a half-truth manner. His information was obviously not from Baigu Mountain. But the information about the blessed land, it was true, he had confirmed it in his previous life. Blessed land? Hearing this phrase, a brilliant light flashed across Wei Yang's eyes. Blessed land, it is the land of blessings, the place of residence for Gu masters after they become immortal. In the blessed land, the scenery is like a drawing, having a unique atmosphere and large amounts of treasure and precious materials. The primeval essence inside is often dozens of times thicker and denser than the outside world. A blessed land was an independent small world, a utopia, isolated from the world. The Gu immortal rules the land, and anyone who lives in it can experience serenity and happiness. Brother Fang Zheng, are you serious? Wei Yang's tone became more anxious. He had to be serious. Rank 5 was mortal, rank 6 was immortal. Between rank 5 and 6, there was a qualitative difference that made them worlds apart. The inheritance of 3 rank 5 Gu masters could only pique Shang clan's interest. But if it involves the inheritance of a rank 6 Gu immortal, then all of the super clans in the southern border would go crazy over it. The inheritance of a rank 6 Gu immortal was simply too valuable. It was so important that even those secluded rank 6 Gu immortals would appear one after another. Fang Yuan laughed, I am not sure about the exact details, but in Grey Bone Scholar's notes, that is what was written. He was not afraid of exposing this information earlier, because there was no bad consequences in doing so. According to his memories, in just a few days, people will start to develop an understanding of this. Anyway, after a short period, Shang clan would also learn of this. He might as well tell Wei Yang in advance to earn their trust. Brother Wei, calm down. Although this is a blessed land left by a rank 6 Gu immortal, it had long been degenerating. Right now, it is on the brink of collapsing. Back in the day, this blessed land was occupied by the 3 kings and they dug out all of the resources and treasures inside. Right now, the 3 kings used this blessed land to build their inheritances, causing the blessed land to feel even greater pressure. Eventually, it will face destruction, and vanish into thin air. Fang Yuan said slowly. Oh, is that so? Wei Yang blinked as he rapidly processed the information. These were all recorded in Grey Bone Scholar's notes, but to ensure my safety, I had already destroyed all these documents. I cannot show them to you. Fang Yuan smiled lightly. Brother, this is too big of a matter. It is not that I do not trust you, but I have to report to Lord Clan Leader, and let him decide. Wei Yang was solemn. Fang Yuan expressed his understanding. If Shang Clan wants to send out an exploration team, I have some information here that might be helpful. Fang Yuan had some understanding of the things inside the inheritance. In that case, I cannot let you lose out. Give a price. Wei Yang was in charge of Feng Yu Manor, and controlled intel in the city. Fang Yuan thought about it, and said 400,000. Wei Yang frowned. For information on the inheritance of a rank 6 Gu immortal, 400,000 is too little. But the reliability of the information has yet to be confirmed. I will pass you 400,000 first. After a while, when it is evaluated, no worries little brother, with your brother Wei here, you will not lose out. I am assured by brother Wei's words. Fang Yuan laughed. After getting this information, Shang Yanfei paid great attention to it, sending 3 teams to Xianxia Mountain. Each team had at least 3 elders. It was a strong investment. A few days later, Fang Yuan received the compensation from Wei Yang regarding the information. The information he provided had helped Shang Clan's teams greatly, and avoided many deaths. After getting the funds, Fang Yuan approached Li Ran. Li Ran was a spy sent by Wu Clan. Right now he was inside 3rd Inner City battle stage. His identity was still a secret and nobody knew except Fang Yuan. I have some information about the 3 kings' inheritance. I am sure your Wu Clan would be interested. Fang Yuan met with Li Ran in secret and immediately said. Chapter 326, Nine Eyes Liquor Worm. Days went by and with the news of the 3 kings' inheritance, a time of unrest began at Xianxia Mountain. Many formidable demonic Gu masters, righteous Gu masters and people of all occupations and goals rushed toward Xianxia Mountain. At first, Shang Clan controlled the situation, continually sending reinforcements and tyrannically occupying the inheritance entrances, displaying their determination towards obtaining this inheritance. However, Wu Clan moved and broke the blockade of Shang Clan. After that, news continued to spread. The fact that the site of 3 kings' inheritance had been rank 6 Gu immortal blessed land caused a huge uproar and countless people flocked toward Xianxia Mountain. Several other top-ranked clans were also alarmed by the news and dispatched groups of formidable Gu masters one after another. With this, even Shang Clan and Wu Clan could not block the huge wave of people. Xianxia Mountain fell into chaos. There were casualties every day. To seize the chance to enter the inheritance, there were intense battles between righteous and demonic, demonic and demonic, righteous and righteous. Every change in the situation in Xianxia Mountain affected the hearts of many people. Fang Yuan was also paying close attention to this. After the inheritance opened, close to a month had passed. Some people already gained some benefits in the inheritance, stimulating the passion of many others to explore the inheritance. However, Fang Yuan did not care about these benefits. With the memories of his previous life, he knew that the true essence of 3 kings' inheritance lied in the depths of the inheritance ground. There were at least 100 barriers before one could reach there, and it was a time and energy-consuming process. Sometimes, people would be lost and trapped in fog, and not be able to find the exit. Sometimes, there would be attacks from dogs and many Gu masters would die under these dogs' sharp canine teeth. The 3 kings were demonic Gu masters. This was a demonic inheritance. There were dangers lurking all over in demonic inheritances. In many cases, one needed to risk their lives to explore them. It is still too early to go to Xianxia Mountain, the time is not ripe yet. It is better to benefit from others' efforts and preserve my strength. When they remove the barriers and clear the obstacles, that will be the time I seize the rewards. For now, I should refine Gu. Fang Yuan had already made a plan. The Gu he was going to refine this time was none other than Liquor Worm. Rank 1 Liquor Worm could purify green copper primeval essence by a small realm. Rank 2 4 Flavors Liquor Worm could purify red steel primeval essence by a small realm. Rank 3 7 Fragrances Liquor Worm could purify white silver primeval essence by a small realm. Rank 4 9 Eyes Liquor Worm could purify yellow gold primeval essence by a small realm. Rank 5 Liquor Worm, however, did not exist. The recipe grandmaster who researched Liquor Worm's recipe had an outstanding talent, but he was killed by enemies when he was young and died prematurely. Geniuses only represented a possibility. There were many cases of geniuses who were killed before they matured. However, the current Fang Yuan and Bai Ningbing could already be said to have matured, killing them would not be easy. After Fang Yuan fused Liquor Worm into 4 Flavors Liquor Worm, he had not used it and had only been raising it. It was because he had Bone Flesh Unity Gu and Bai Ningbing's help that the 4 Flavors Liquor Worm lost its worth. However, it was different now. Bai Ningbing was now rank 4 while Fang Yuan was rank 3 peak stage, he would also advance to rank 4 initial stage not long later. At that time, their cultivation would be the same. The help that Bone Flesh Unity Gu could offer to Fang Yuan would decrease by a lot. At that time, a rank 4 9 Eyes Liquor Worm would make his cultivation speed faster. Refine the 9 Eyes Liquor Worm. While Xianxia was starting to recruit Zhou Quan, Fang Yuan chose to go into closed-door cultivation to refine Gu. Bai Ningbing also chose to go into closed-door cultivation, refining Gu secretly. To refine 4 Flavors Liquor Worm, 2 rank 1 Liquor Worms and wine of sour, sweet, bitter and spicy flavors were required. To refine 7 Fragrances Liquor Worm, 2 4 Flavors Liquor Worm and 7 types of spices were required. To refine 9 Eyes Liquor Worm, 1 needed 2 7 Fragrances Liquor Worm and eyeballs of 9 different 100 Beast Kings. Right now, Fang Yuan was at Shangclan City and had a huge advantage. If it was at other places, he would have to spend large amounts of energy to search for materials to refine Liquor Worm. However, at Shangclan City, he could easily buy them as long as he had money. Fang Yuan already possessed a 4 Flavors Liquor Worm. He bought 2 Liquor Worms and fused them into the second 4 Flavors Liquor Worm. He then fused these 2 4 Flavors Liquor Worm into 7 Fragrances Liquor Worm. The process till this stage was smoothly finished by him. However, he ran into difficulty while refining the second 7 Fragrances Liquor Worm. While he was fusing the third 4 Flavors Liquor Worm and the second 7 Fragrances Liquor Worm, the fusion failed. The primeval stones spent on it were all wasted. He had to buy the supplementary materials and restart it again. Fortunately, fusing the 2 7 Fragrances Liquor Worm was completely smoothly. 3 days later, Fang Yuan obtained a 9 Eyes Liquor Worm. 9 Eyes Liquor Worm was like a silkworm and was pure white like a pearl. There were no eyes on its head, but rather it had 9 colors that resembled eyes, red, orange, yellow, green, blue and so on, as if they were precious gems embedded on its body. 9 Eyes Liquor Worm could purify yellow gold primeval essence by a small realm. Fang Yuan had spent a lot to refine it, his expenses almost reaching 200,000 primeval stones. No Gu masters could avoid failures in refining Gu. Fang Yuan might have failed many times, but his luck was pretty good. His failures was all concentrated in the early stage of refining 4 flavors liquor worm and 7 fragrances liquor worm. At the final juncture, he had succeeded in one try. What Gu master feared the most in refining Gu was failing at the latter stage. That kind of loss was disastrous. I have 9 eyes liquor worm now. Fang Yuan observed the Gu for a while before satisfiedly putting it into his aperture. He was still only at rank 3 peak stage now and could not use the 9 eyes liquor worm. He could only wait till he reached rank 4 before he used it. Bai Ningbing could use it. However, yellow gold middle stage primeval essence had a strong cleansing effect towards the aperture walls. Bai Ningbing possessed northern dark ice soul physique, and from what she said, her aptitude had already increased to 96% now. 9 eyes liquor worm would do more harm than good to her. When I reach rank 4 initial stage and use this 9 eyes liquor worm, I will have yellow gold middle stage primeval essence. At that time, the quality of my primeval essence will, for the first time, surpass Bai Ningbing. Fang Yuan could sense he was not far from reaching rank 4 realm. Although they had undergone a vow, he had never forgotten the danger called by Ningbing. Time passed day by day. A great demonic path figure appeared at Xianxia mountain inheritance grounds after Kong Ri Tian. He was Long Qing Tian, one who had dyed the sky blue before, a famous poison path Gu master. When he appeared in the inheritance grounds, he killed 3 Shang clan elders with poison and gave a huge boost to the demonic path's morale. Fortunately, 2 days later, Wu clan sent the rank 4 elder Wu Tongshen to hold back Long Qing Tian. This brought back the situation in Xianxia mountain to an equilibrium. On Xianxia's side, she, as expected, met setbacks when recruiting Zhou Quan and her progress was slow. Zhou Quan was proud and arrogant, his attitude did not ease even a little and his tone also seemed like he had no intentions to discuss. After Fang Yuan succeeded in refining 9 eyes liquor worm, he was putting all his energy in cultivating. Because Bai Ningbing was continuously supplying him with yellow gold primeval essence, his cultivation speed accelerated and was quickly approaching rank 4 realm. However, these days, spring-autumn Cicada's recovery speed was also becoming faster and its pressure on Fang Yuan's rank 3 aperture had become more obvious. On this day, Shang Clan City welcomed the auspicious festival. This was Shang Clan's traditional festival. It was an important celebration that commemorated the ancestor, who founded Shang Clan thousands of years ago, setting up a stall for the first time. Shang Clan's first ancestor was a legendary figure. He was originally a mortal who lived in poverty and made a livelihood by trading. On one certain transaction, he unexpectedly obtained a Gu master's inheritance token. He relied on this token to inherit the legacy of the Gu master and stepped into a whole new world. He moved forward steadily and step by step, his wealth and power expanded continuously until he finally founded Shang Clan City. Thus, on the day of the festival, Shang Clan Inner City was decorated with lanterns and colored banners. All large stores, brothels, restaurants and so on closed their business for the day. People were in a joyous mood and excitedly walked on the streets, setting up stalls. Men, women, old and young, all immersed in this lively atmosphere of the festival. On this day, buying and selling were treated as an interesting game. However, the joyous atmosphere of the festival seemed to have no effect on Xianxia. The young girl sat in front of a table with her beautiful brows in a slight frown as she looked at the several invitation cards on the table with melancholy. These invitation cards all came from the 9 young masters. During auspicious festival, the young masters would hold grand banquets, inviting people of all sides and reward them. Big brother hey too, what should I do? Xianxia was in a dilemma and subconsciously looked at Fang Yuan for guidance. Xianci, our sales have tripled your 100,000 capital and you are now one of the most popular candidate to win the Young Master competition. They will naturally invite you to participate. Fang Yuan smiled and continued, however, we can only choose one of these 9 invitations. On the surface, this looks like a joyous and harmonious banquet, but it is actually a political move to determine where you stand. Fang Yuan explained the deep political meaning behind these invitations. Shang clan only had 10 young masters, there were alliance between these 10 young masters and also internal conflicts. Xianxia was competing for the young master position and was also one of the most popular candidates. Naturally, the 9 young masters paid close attention to her. Xianxia had yet to become a young master but they were already trying to rope her in. One had to make compromises in this world. To be part of Shang clan's higher-up, one could not avoid being engulfed by the political whirlpool. Should I choose Shang Qiwen's invitation? After all, she is in charge of battle stage and will be a great help to our later plans. Xianxia voiced out. Fang Yuan shook his head, it looks like there are 9 invitations, but actually that is not the case. The biggest power among Shang clan young masters is Shang Qiu, who is the eldest son of the first wife and thus has the greatest advantage. Second faction is the alliance of Shang Pu Lao, Shang Xuan Ni and Shang Baishi, this faction is currently in the limelight. Third faction is the alliance of Shang Chao Feng and Shang Fu Shi who are currently biding their time. Among the rest, Shang Qiwen does not have any ambitions while Shang Pai Xiu is too playful. Xinci, your foundation in Shang Clan City is too weak. If you are going to choose, you need to choose between these 3 factions to make up for your weakness. As for Shang Qiwen, there won't be much of a difference whether you choose her or not. So it was like this. Xinci's eyes brightened as she listened. Hearing Fang Yuan's words, she felt like she had dispelled the fog around her and was looking at the clear sky. The bewilderment she was feeling earlier was swept away. She thought a little and made her choice. She chose the third faction, Shang Chao Feng's invitation. Among the 3 factions, the first and second faction are competing against each other, I will definitely be offending the other if I choose one of them. It is better to choose the third faction and enter this political whirlpool, but still stay out of it for the time being. Xianxi explained to Fang Yuan. Xianxi immediately understood with her high intelligence. Fang Yuan was happy at this but also felt a little irony. In his previous life, Shang Chao Feng and Xianxi fought and contended for Shang clan leader's position. To think that in this life, these 2 archenemies would instead choose to walk together. Chapter 327, Beautiful and Talented, Xinc's Brilliance. Little brother here toasts to big brother. Shang Yifan stood up and bent his back while raising a cup of wine with a smile. There were splendid lights all over the hall, singing and dancing were being performed, and traditional music flowed to everyone's ears. Everyone was enjoying the feast and the atmosphere was intense. Good. Shang Qiu was standing on the main seat. He raised a cup of wine towards Shang Yifan and downed the wine in one gulp. Shang Qiu's advisor spoke, Master Yifan, choosing to participate in young Master Qiu's banquet is no doubt a sensible decision. Do not worry, my young master will not treat you unfairly. Eldest brother Qiu has always been my role model. In truth, I have always been wanting to get closer to eldest brother and learn many things under you. Shang Yifan smiled. Shang Qiu was head of the first major faction among the current young masters and he happened to have deep relation with Shang Yifan's mother's side. If Xianxia chose Shang Qiunyou's side, she was certain to be pushed aside by Shang Yifan. However, Shang Qiunyou had already taken the initiative to send an invitation to Xianxia. He would definitely be happy if Xianxia came. Why? Because on Xianxia's side were Fang and Bai, two great rank 4 experts. This was something no other young master had, and many were envious of this. Young master, subordinate has inquired, that Xianxia went to. At this moment, a Gu master entered the hall and whispered to Shang Qiunyou's ear with his waist bent. Shang Qiunyou's gaze turned slightly gloomy when he got the information. Shang Yifan cautiously observed Shang Qiunyou's expression and pondered, looks like Xianxia didn't choose eldest brother's faction, did she go to Shang Pu Lao's faction? Shang Qiunyou had already experienced a lot of things, thus his feelings did not show clearly on his face. His expression also had no change, so Shang Yifan could only guess without any clues. However, a short while later, Shang Yifan also received the news. Xianxia had accepted the invitation to participate in Shang Chaofeng's festival banquet. This signified she chose Shang Chaofeng's faction. Shang Yifan could not help but be secretly delighted immediately upon receiving the news. Shang Chaofeng and Shang Fushi might be the third faction, but they have been pressured from the start. How could they be eldest brother Qiunyou's match? I have now even more chance to take the young master position. However, the old steward Zhang shook his head, his expression heavy. Master, young master Qiunyou's faction and young master Pu Lao's faction are locked in a fight. I am afraid the possibility of master borrowing the help of young master Qiunyou to deal with Xianxia is not very big. At this critical moment, young master Qiunyou cannot afford to make another enemy. Xianxia's choice is clever. She has avoided the political whirlpool and managed to watch from the sidelines for the moment. By the time the two factions resolve their issues, the competition for the young master position will already be over. Xianxia has two great rank 4 experts, any faction she chooses will readily accept her and make an alliance. Young master Shang Chaofeng will definitely help her. Old steward Zhang gave an incisive analysis of the situation. That is to say, even though I joined Shang Qiunyou's faction, I still can't deal with Xianxia. Shang Yifan's expression became unsightly. I can only say that we cannot borrow Shang Qiunyou's strength. Old steward Zhang stroked his grizzled beard. However, Xianxia's problem is also not small. The most important thing is that she still lacks capable manpower. I heard that she has been trying to recruit Zhou Quan. How can that even be possible? Old steward sneered and continued, Zhou Quan was once a clan leader, he is proud and arrogant, and his ability is 10 times of mine. How would it be possible for such a man to attach himself to this inexperienced little girl? I have already secretly mobilized people to create all kinds of rumors and slanders. Zhou Quan cares for his reputation very much, and the rumors have already prevented him from joining Xianxia. Xianxia is trying to recruit Zhou Quan secretly, but by failing to do so, she will lose a lot of her prestige and will have a disadvantageous beginning. She might even become a laughingstock. He. When he reached the end of his words, Steward Zhou started laughing evilly. Shang Chaofeng's study was arranged in a simple fashion. There was a wide stone table and wide-backed stone chairs which gave a boorish and strong aura. Just as Shang Yifan and old steward Zhang were talking, Shang Chaofeng, Xianxia along with Fang Yuan and Bai Ningbing were also discussing something. This discussion had already continued on for a while. In truth, Shang Chaofeng was somewhat surprised at Xianxia joining his side. He had thought Xianxia would join Xianxia or Xiangpu Lao. His own faction was only ranked third and they were currently just watching from the sidelines while accumulating their strength. In normal times, they were very low-key and would choose to retreat when there were problems or contradictions. They had never thought they could obtain Xianxia's interest. Xianxia's cultivation was only at rank 1, while her aptitude was worse and she had almost no foundation in Shang Clan City. However, she had Fang Yuan and Bai Ningbing. These were two great rank 4 powers. Even Shang Yanfei when he was a young master, did not have such experts with him. To be able to have two such experts under her, there were no young masters who did not feel envious. Shang Chaofeng had also naturally sighed inwardly at Xianxia's luck. Now, if he accepted Xianxia, he could indirectly obtain Fang and Bai's help. This was a temptation Shang Chaofeng could not refuse. The atmosphere in the study was harmonious. In the talk just earlier, Shang Chaofeng already sincerely expressed his intention to wholeheartedly support Xianxia in the Young Master competition. Sister Xianxia, you have already earned 300,000 primeval stones from selling Gu worms. We can say that you are at the top currently, but just 300,000 is far from enough. What do you plan on doing next? Shang Chaofeng then added, just say it and I will help you to the best of my abilities. Xianxia glanced at Fang Yuan faintly nodded his head. She then said honestly, I won't hide it from Big Brother Chaofeng, I am thinking of doing information gathering business. Information gathering business? Shang Chaofeng could not help but raise his brows. Yes. Xianxia started to explain her plan in detail. Who knew Shang Chaofeng's expression would change and shake his head after hearing it? You want to do information gathering business regarding the battle stage. It is not suitable, not suitable. He said, not suitable, twice, expressing his clear disagreement with Xianxia plan. Ah, what could be wrong about it? Please teach me Big Brother Chaofeng, Xianxia said in a sincere voice. Xianxia, I urge you to change this plan. You are a newcomer and so you aren't clear about it, it is understandable. You should not bump about with the battle stage randomly. Shang Chaofeng heaved a sigh and continued, Shang Clan City's battle stage is different from other clans' battle stage. Here, demonic Gu masters can become our Shang Clan's external elders. This is a policy exclusive to our Shang Clan and we have been able to obtain many talents from this. At present, there are 5 great elders in Shang Clan, among which 3 are external elders. However, this policy has both advantage and disadvantage. The greater the benefits, the higher the chance of malpractice. External elders are the higher-ups of our Shang Clan, and if some trouble enters through it, it will be a great disaster to our Shang Clan. Demonic Gu masters are after all demonic Gu masters, and even if they change and become righteous, their loyalty can still be questioned. At the same time, besides the demonic Gu masters, there are also those righteous path clans with unfathomable motives. Thus, Shang Clan's battle stage is the place which has always been attached with the most importance by Shang Clan higher-ups. There was once a young master who suddenly got an inspiration to start a betting house for the battle stages matches. The result was that he earned 500,000 primeval stones after just 2 days of opening the betting house. However, on the 3rd day, the betting house was closed down and the young master was demoted and exiled. This is the best warning that shows that the battle stage cannot be touched randomly. Shang Chaofeng spoke of a story only known to insiders. This information was something Fang Yuan, Bai Ningbing and Xianxia did not know. Fang Yuan might have the memories of his previous life, but it was normal to not know of this small secret historical incident about the Shang clan's internal affairs, even more so when it was closed down so fast. The battle stage was a forbidden zone. That young master touched this place and lost his young master position and was even exiled from the clan. At present, Xianxia was still not a young master but had a plan towards the battle stage. This made Shang Chaofeng realize that ignorance was truly blissful. Xianci, your plan is a new approach and you have thought of it properly. If it is done, you will definitely make large amount of profits every day. However, the possibility is too low, don't take your own future prospects as a joke. I am in charge of the Gu battle zone and your 13th brother is in charge of the auction sites. You can lend us a hand in this field and will be able to go head to head against Shang Yifan. Shang Chaofeng gently persuaded. Shang Xianci was silent. Bai Ningbing furrowed her brows. The corner of Fang Yuan's lips curled up into a smile and he was about to speak, but after taking a glance at Shang Xianci, he changed his decision and swallowed up the words that were just about to come out of his throat. For a moment, the atmosphere in the study room had become heavy. After quite a while of intense pondering, Shang Xianci suddenly smiled. Big brother Chaofeng, I have a different viewpoint regarding the battle stage. This is well worth doing. Huh? Shang Chaofeng frowned and fixed his gaze at Shang Xianci. Under the pressure from Shang Chaofeng's gaze, Shang Xianci instead smiled and showed her confident look. She continued, the young master before failed after opening the betting house, he was like a moth attracted to fire and was looking for his own doom. His punishment was only by being expelled from the clan. This can be considered merciful from our Shang clan. Why? In the study, only Shang Xianci's gentle voice continued to sound out. Like Big Brother Chaofeng said, our Shang clan's battle stage is of the highest importance and has been extremely guarded by the higher-ups. Opening a betting house for battle stage to earn huge money will likely give rise to people who will manipulate the battle stage's result from behind the scenes. This will greatly wreck the Shang clan's external elder policy. It looks like one can make enormous profits from the betting house, but to the Shang clan's battle stage, it is a very large vermin. Sacrificing Shang clan's benefits to fill oneself, such actions definitely need to be eliminated and only then can it let the battle stage continue to mature. Shang Chaofeng continuously nodded his head. Shang Xianci's words were incisive and had a type of aura that made people want to have faith in it. But the information business I want to do has a completely different nature from the betting house. I know Shang clan's biggest information organization Feng Yu Manor has always been investigating into the demonic Gu masters at the battle stage. They must investigate properly, to know whether these demonic Gu masters harbor evil intentions. However, these investigations are done in secret and never openly. Why? Hee hee. This is because most of the demonic Gu masters are filled with distrust, doubts and even are overly suspicious. They live in danger all year round in a situation where their life hangs on a thread, so the mental pressure on them is so great that they cannot even relax a bit. And if they were investigated after coming to Shang Clan City, they would definitely react badly and be filled with hatred. If Shang Clan wants to absorb even more and even better talents, they naturally can't investigate openly. However, not investigating is even more impossible and the clan cannot be at ease. In this situation, I am going to do information gathering business. I am going to investigate every Gu master's general strength, Gu worms and battle achievements, and sell this information. At the same time, I will be requesting experts and authority to forecast the results of important matches and make a ranking. This will be very important information to the Gu masters participating in the battle stage. Many Gu masters wish to obtain an external elder's position and they hope for more fame, and also wish to see their names on the rankings. These information will naturally not touch upon secret matters and will only be a summary and comparison of the strength showed by the Gu masters. To demonic Gu masters on the battle stage, this will be a great help. At the same time, this will allow the Shang clan to strengthen their grasp more on the battle stage. I think my Lord Father will definitely be happy about this. Why would he suppress such a thing? Xianxia finished explaining her reason and looked at Shang Chao Feng with a smile. At this moment, her eyes were burning bright with wisdom and confidence, displaying unlimited elegance. Bai Ningbing's brows had also smoothed out. This is it. Fang Yuan inwardly smiled. Shang Chao Feng slightly opened his mouth, looking at Xianxia with a stupefied expression. After several seconds, he came back to his senses and could not help applauding and praising her. Good point, your analysis is brilliant. Sister Xianci, you have a truly unique vision, a pure heart and spirit, I can't help but admire you. I will definitely help you with all my strength for this business. You lack manpower now, I can give you people from my side. You can have as many as you want. Xianxia shook her head, thank you big brother Chao Feng, but I have already made my choice regarding the manpower. Shang Chao Feng looked like he wanted to help Xianxia on the surface by sending people, but actually, he wanted to place his own people to control this information-gathering business and also strengthen his control over Xianxia. However, Xianxia immediately saw through it and tactfully refused. Not all help comes with good intentions. However, Shang Chao Feng was not willing to let it go. The information-gathering business he was avoiding so much earlier had become a rich treasure right now. He continued to persuade, Sister Xianci, I know you have been trying to recruit Zhou Quan recently, but this person is very proud and contemptuous. Shang Qiunyou had personally tried to recruit him before, but was refused and was even reprimanded with the words, an inexperienced junior dares to recruit me, 100-year-old man. Zhou Quan was now already over 100 years old, and would not willingly submit to someone, especially a junior. Shang Chao Feng was not optimistic about Xianxia recruiting Zhou Quan. Zhou Quan had the ability and was also recognized for it, but he was too arrogant. Let's take a step back and say that you managed to recruit Zhou Quan. What can one man do? You still don't have middle and lower level subordinates. These people also must have some ability, most importantly they should be loyal to you. Establishing such force requires time, a long time. With subordinates that you don't feel at ease, even if you do this information-gathering business, it might very well be destroyed by Shang Yifan and he can even steal your gains. Shang Chao Feng might have his own intentions but his words were very reasonable. Shang Xinc's beautiful brows could not help but furrow when she heard it. Regarding this, young Master Chao Feng does not need to worry. I already have a plan. At this time, Fang Yuan suddenly spoke. Chapter 328, Eating will be eating. Is that so? Shang Chao Feng replied curtly. Fang Yuan had personally rejected his proposal for Shang Xinci, he could not force them. Fang Yuan had defeated Zhu Kai Bei, had rank 3 peak stage cultivation but his actual fighting strength was rank 4. At the same time he had the purple thorn token, and was an esteemed guest in Shang clan. Because of all these, Shang Chao Feng had already been showing goodwill towards Fang and Bai. But he was scoffing in his heart. Trying to establish a force. It needs time, how can they succeed instantly? Never mind, I'll let you guys learn from mistakes. When you fail, I will come out and help you, I would be able to earn more then. Shang Chao Feng contemplated, but he still smiled warmly. The two discussed for a while more, before Shang Chao Feng sent Shang Xinci and the others personally to the exit. To outsiders, this was an obvious political signal. After saying bye to Shang Chao Feng, Shang, Fang, and Bai walked onto the streets. Today was the auspicious festival, most of the shops were closed, and 2 rows small temporary stalls were on the 2 sides of the road. Come, 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 sour and sweet candied fruits. Let me tell you, this old jade was passed down by my ancestors. Selling rice, a bag of 5 fragrance oil rice for half a primeval stone. The small stalls were situated one after another, selling all sorts of things. The 2 rows spread out as far as the eye could see, as people squeezed about as they tried to buy things, while others watched in a circle, some were bargaining and some were looking around. The auspicious festival was held once a year, be it Feng Yuan, by Ning Bing or Xianxia, they were not foreign to it. Counting the days, we have already been in Xiangclan City for nearly 3 years. Xianxia suddenly said in an emotional tone. Too many things had happened in the last few years. She sighed, continuing, if it was before, I would never have guessed I would be Xiangclan leader's daughter. Next, Xianxia looked at Feng Yuan, smiling slightly, showing her pure white teeth, if it was not for brother He too, I would not have made it this far. Towards Feng and Bai, Xianxia always felt extremely grateful to them. Bai Ningbing looked speechlessly, the corner of her eyes twitching. Indeed, I did not think your father would be the famous Shang Yanfei. But, it was fate that I saved you. People come and go, that is natural in this world. Feng Yuan looked ahead as he answered. Xianxia's expression changed, she understood what he meant, brother He too, you are going to leave Xiangclan City? That's right. Soon, I will have to leave Xiangclan City with Bai Ningbing, heading towards Sancha Mountain. Feng Yuan said. Xianxia gritted her teeth, she wanted to tell him to stay, but she did not say it in the end. She had spent a lot of time with Feng Yuan, although they never talked about it, she could feel the ambitions in his heart. This man's ambition was too great, a place like Xiangclan City could not hold him. But there is no need to worry. Before I leave, I will make you a young master, and make sure you sit there securely. Feng Yuan laughed, let's go, I'll bring you to recruit some subordinates. Today, let's complete the foundation for your future force. What, brother He too, you have ideal candidates already? Xianxia asked in surprise. Organizing a force takes a very long time. It takes years of nurturing to obtain loyal subordinates. Feng Yuan's tone made Xianxia feel that loyal and capable subordinates were like cabbage, easily found in the market. On what basis was he so confident and assured? Not just Xianxia, even Bai Ningbing was curious. Just follow me. Feng Yuan walked ahead, leading the way. After many twists and turns, they finally arrived at a small alley. In the middle of a lantern shop and silk shop, there was a small stall. Feng Yuan walked towards the front of this stall. Behind the stall, there was a young man lying down. This young man wore tattered clothes as he leaned on the wall, his eyes half closed, in a dazed expression as his complexion was poor. He looked like he was drunk, and had completely given up on life. Is this young man the person brother He too is looking for? Xianxia analyzed. Bai Ningbing used her sharp instincts to assess this man. Although he was a Gu master, he only had rank 1 middle stage cultivation. From his appearance, he was not young already, but only had this cultivation, it was pathetic. Hi brother, what do you want to buy, oh, Lord Fengzheng? The young man sensed people and opened his eyes, but halfway through his words, he showed shock and fluster. Feng Yuan was now a famous person in Xiangclan City, without concealing his appearance, many people could recognize him. Lord Bai Ningbing. Immediately after, he recognized Bai Ningbing, and he stammered. Although he did not know Xianxia, from her Gu master aura and her beautiful appearance, he felt dazed. This is 10 primeval stones, I am buying everything here, you can leave now. Fong Yuan tossed a bag of primeval stones. The young man's face showed joy and exhilaration. But next, he was slightly hesitant. The stuff he was selling here were the things his grandfather left behind. From his appraisal, all these were scrap and trash, there was nothing valuable. But why did Lord Fongzheng want to buy them? Was there really a treasure among them? If there were treasures, would it not be a loss if he sold them? Just when he was still pondering, Fong Yuan already tossed the primeval stones to him. What are you thinking about? You didn't listen to what I said. Humph, it is your honor that I wanted to buy these. You can scram now, if you don't, you will not have the chance to leave this place. Fong Yuan threatened. The young man was scared until he trembled. He stammered as he shivered, Lord Fongzheng, you cannot do this. In business, we emphasize on willingness. You cannot forcefully buy them like this, you are someone with great reputation, and this is Shan Clan City. Smack. Fong Yuan gave him a tight slap and this young man fell on the ground. Scram. Fong Yuan declared, using an icy gaze to look at this young man, speaking emotionlessly. The young man held his face as he trembled under the great fear. He raised his head to look at Fong Yuan, but immediately looked away when he made contact with the abyss-like pupils. He fumbled his way out of the alley silently immediately after. Brother Hey Tuesday. Xianxia looked at his background, her conscience unable to stand it. Bai Ningbing was expressionless, completely unmoved. Xianci, I am a demonic Gu master, I have my ways of doing things, I emphasize on straightforwardness. Fong Yuan explained casually in a righteous tone. The surrounding stall owners looked towards him. He gave a sweeping glance, and everyone looked away, afraid to make eye contact. If it was Fong Yuan in the past, he would have to control himself and use coaxing, lying methods to buy the item in the stall peacefully. But now, his strength had surged, and his status was much higher, thus he can use the most direct method. It saves energy and time, why not do this? People from the righteous path loved their reputation, and liked showing off their kindness, often doing good deeds for the weak. But Fong Yuan was not righteous, he was from the demonic path. Since ancient times, big fish eat small fish eat shrimps, this was the law of the jungle, the survival of the fittest. Demonic cultivators were used to tearing apart flesh and blood, devouring them whole. Righteous cultivators, however, will shed crocodile tears while they ate, claiming that they had no choice. Many stupid people will fall for their deception. Or maybe they were lying to themselves, unwilling to accept the cruel reality. Hee hee. The truth is, eating will be eating. Usurper eats the usurped, invader eats the invaded, the strong eats the weak, the suppressor eats the suppressed, the higher-ups eat the lower levels. All living beings eat, if not, they would not survive. It is just that they have different eating habits. Fong Yuan chased that stall owner away and lowered his body, picking a token from among the items in the stall. This token was made of black steel, ugly and dirty, with half a piece remaining. There were words carved on it, but after so long, and without the other half of its body, the words could not be discerned. But Fong Yuan knew this word was fan. 300 years ago, a demonic Gu master was heavily injured and fell into the water, eventually saved by a young lady who was at the river. The young girl was very kind. After saving the demonic Gu master, she placed him in the shed and gave him food to eat daily. After the demonic Gu master recovered, to thank her kindness, he made a black steel token, carving a fan word. He split the token into two, giving half to the girl while keeping the other half himself. Before the demonic Gu master left, he instructed the girl, "In future, if you have any difficulties, you can go the Danhua Mountains Goe Ku Cave, and find me for help. Even after you pass away, this promise will still be effective to the future owner of the half-token." The young girl engraved his words into her heart, but after less than 50 years, there was a huge battle on Danhua Mountain, and the volcano erupted, destroying Goe Ku Cave. That demonic Gu master was captured by Tai clan and thrown into the demon suppression tower. This half-token lost its use after that. It was passed around by the young girl's descendants. Because it involved the demonic path, when the young girl died of old age, she did not reveal the secret to her children, bringing this information to her grave. The young girl's descendants were chased away by the clan, and eventually settled down in Xianxia city, as the lineage declined. Descendants were untalented and unfilial. After several generations, only this young man remained. This young man was spoiled from young, having a young master temper, and loved to gamble, drink, and visit prostitutes. After his parents died, he would rely on selling his family assets from time to survive. But one time, during the auspicious market festival, his life changed. 3 brothers who were demonic Gu masters came here to shop, and accidentally found the half-token displayed in the stall. Chapter 329, 3 Brothers of Xiong Clan. The 3 instantly became overjoyed, taking out the other half of the token and formed the whole token on the spot. So it turns out, the demonic Gu master back then had his descendants too. Before he was arrested by Tai clan, he instructed his descendants to remember this incident and, if possible in the future, repay that kindness. The 3 brothers were descendants of this demonic Gu master. After seeing this token, they immediately explained the matter to this young stall owner, asking him if he needed any help. They would do their best to assist him. This young man was very crafty. He immediately replied, he lacked 3 subordinates and there was nobody around to help him. The 3 brothers glanced at each other, before kneeling down together, promising that they would serve the young man for 20 years. They would listen to all of his orders for 20 years, but after that, they would be free. These 3 brothers were famous in the battle stage. They each had rank 3 cultivation, and were most skilled in multi-battles. The young man relied on the strength of the 3 brothers, living the next 20 years in luxury. During the period, he asked the 3 brothers to get food, water, primeval stones for him, and they acceded to all of his requests. But after 20 years, the 3 brothers repaid the favor and left. He had long forgotten how to work, and was too ashamed to beg. In fact, he did not even restrain himself, continuing to live like a king. Less than half a month later, he died. Of course, all these happened in Fang Yuan's previous life. At the moment, the 3 demonic Gu masters have not found the half-token yet. And this token was already in Fang Yuan's hands. As for that young man, who cares if he dies? According to his memories, this half-token would only be discovered by the 3 demonic Gu master brothers next year. But now that Fang Yuan held the half-token, he brought Bai Ningbing and Xianxia to find them directly. The 3 brothers also opened a stall before their home, enjoying the festive mood and were having fun. Ah! It is Lord Fang Zheng. And Lord Bai Ningbing. Seeing Fang and Bai, the 3 quickly got up. They had all been thrashed by Fang Yuan or Bai Ningbing before in the battle stage. In this world, strength was everything, even more so for demonic Gu masters. Bai Ningbing had rank 4 cultivation, while Fang Yuan defeated Zhu Kai Bei. There was no demonic Gu master who did not respect the 2. I am here today to find the 3 of you. Fang Yuan observed the 3 brothers emotionlessly. These three brothers all had the surname Xiong. The eldest was called Xiong, shortest among the three, humble and honest. He was an Earth Path Rank 3 upper stage Gu master. Second was Xianxia, wearing a sleeveless shirt and shorts, his body was bright red. He was a Fire Path Rank 3 middle stage Gu master. The youngest was Xiongfeng, wearing a bamboo hat, having sharp tiny eyes, and enjoys squinting when he looks at people. He was a Wind Path Rank 3 initial stage Gu master. Hearing Fang Yuan's words, the three brothers became uneasy. Xiong quickly cupped his fist, greeting Fang Yuan, "Lord Fangzheng, may I know what is the issue? If my brothers had offended you unknowingly, I apologize to you here." Fang Yuan frowned slightly. "I'm sure you've heard, I had given up on the battle stage to assist Xianxia in becoming a young master. We are lacking manpower over here, I want all three of you to join us." This. The three Xiong clan brothers frowned. They came to Shang clan city and entered the battle stage for only one reason, to become Shang clan's external elder. But now that Fang Yuan wanted them to assist Xianxia, it was very different from their goals. Xianxia was just an inexperienced girl, and only had rank 1 cultivation with poor aptitude. The three of them all had B-grade aptitude, and their combination strike could temporarily match a rank 4 Gu master. Asking them to go under Xianxia and be her subordinate, the three brothers were unwilling. If others said this, the three brothers would have attacked already, beating the guy to a pulp. But it was Fang Yuan who said it, causing the three to be in a difficult position. Fang Yuan had defeated Zhu Kai Bei in a battle, they had watched it personally, even if they joined forces, they could not defeat Fang Yuan. Fangzheng is here with ill intention. He is obviously trying to forcefully subdue us. Sigh, what bad luck to have been targeted by Fangzheng. All three of us cannot defeat him, and he even has Bai Ningbing beside him. Moreover, the purple thorn token. The three brothers looked at each other, knowing each other's emotions. The three of them were unwilling, but circumstances forced their hand, they could only choose to give in. But Fang Yuan suddenly said, "I do not wish to force you, come if you are willing to, if not, I will not force you." The three brothers glanced at each other, unsure if Fang Yuan was speaking the truth, or just trying to act graceful. But Xiongfeng, who was the youngest, was the most daring, as he said carefully, "Lord Fangzheng, to speak the truth, we are used to freedom. We do not want to be involved in Shang clan's young master competition. Thus. The other two smiled meekly as they bowed towards Fang Yuan and Bai Ningbing apologetically. Oh. Fang Yuan's brows raised, as a cold light shot out of his eyes, "The three of you are really daring, you dare to reject my invitation?" The three brothers' heart thumped. Xiong quickly cupped his fists, explaining in a hurry, "That is not the case, that is not the case. Lord Fangzheng, please do not misunderstand, it is our honor to have received your invitation. My brother was too nervous, he did not know what he was saying. Actually what he wanted to say was, we would be glad to go under Lady Xianxia's wing." Yes, that was what I meant. Xiongfeng continued. In that case, I am assured. The three of you are so eager, Xianxia, accept them. Fang Yuan turned around, saying to Xianxia. Beside him, Bai Ningbing frowned. Forcing them to join like this, he would not get their loyalty, such a distant subordinate, what use would it be? Xianxia had the same worry, but she still chose to believe Fang Yuan. She took a step forward, saying to the three brothers, "From now on, please work hard." Yes. The three brothers of Xiong clan pays respect to Lady Xianxia. The three cupped their fists and bowed, replying listlessly. Ha ha ha. Fong Yuan raised his head and laughed. The three brothers thought, this Fang Zheng is too despicable, leading the life of a whore but still expecting a monument praising chastity one. Speaking in a righteous manner but acting like a despicable crook. That's right, I forgot something, take a good look. Fong Yuan stopped laughing, and took out a half-token, tossing it to Xiong. Xiong caught it subconsciously. What is this? The other two brothers glanced curiously. But immediately, the three brothers were stunned. This is... The calm and stable Xiong cried out. Xiong grabbed the token, inspecting it closely. Xiong Feng also understood what happened, as he urged his brother Xiong, brother, quickly take out our token. Under by Ning Bing and Xianxia's weird gaze, Xiong took out the other half of the token. The two half-tokens perfectly fit into one, and an illusionary fire started to burn on the token. This is real. Xiong clan's three brothers stared with wide-opened eyes. Xiong held the token with shivering arms. What is going on? Bai Ningbing and Xianxia had no clue what was happening. The three brothers of Xiong clan, did you really think I came here without a reason? Why are you hesitating? Fong Yuan spoke at an appropriate moment. His words woke them up. Grandfather once said, no matter who the token's owner was, even if it was an enemy, we have to repay the kindness from back then. That's right, although grandfather is trapped, we cannot ruin his reputation. From now on, Lady Xianxia is our new master. But, only for 20 years. 20 years is sufficient to repay the debt. The three brothers discussed among themselves quickly. Next, all three of them kneeled on one knee in front of Xianxia, cupping their fists. Xiong, Xiong, Xiong Feng, the three brothers greets Lady Xianxia. They shouted loudly, with a different tone from before, filled with drive and excitement. Brother He Tu, what is happening? Xianxia found out that they were sincerely joining her, and felt extremely curious. Fong Yuan snickered, it is a long story. We will talk about it next time, now, let's go recruit some more members. The gang of 6 arrived at the slave market. In the world, there was slave trade. Any strong or affluent first-class clan, or super clan, would engage in slave business. Shang clan's slave trade was handled by the head of the 5 clan elders, Shang Buli personally. Slave trade was too profitable, the higher-ups were not confident of letting an external elder handle it. In history, only Shang clansmen were in charge of it. Fong Yuan had planned early on, and investigated clearly. He walked ahead, leading the way, quickly arriving at a cage. Within the cage, there were many people. Lady Xianxia, Lord Fangzheng, Lord Bai Ningbing, are you here to purchase slaves? If that is the case, I do not advise you to buy the people inside this cage. A Gu master in charge of handling business quickly came over. Oh. What is that so? Xianxia asked. Lady Xianxia does not know, these people are from Wei clan. Wei clan had a political uprising some time ago, and Wei clan leader was overthrown by his younger brother. The people inside this cage are from the previous clan leader's faction. They are being sold now by the current Wei clan leader. The Gu master answered. Xianxia immediately understood why he advised them not to buy these slaves. Wei clan was a first-class clan. Although it was smaller than Shang clan, it was still a famous clan in the southern border. Wei clan's political turbulence was said to be supported by Shang Yanfei. The current Wei clan leader even sent the clansmen to Shang clan as hostage. Many Wei clan elders also secretly transferred their assets to Shang clan. Wei clan could be said to be Shang clan's puppet already. For Xianxia who was competing to become Shang clan young master, these people were trouble. But Fang Yuan quickly said, "We are buying these people." Chapter 330, Wei de Xian. This. Lord Fangzheng, are you certain on buying them? The Gu master in charge hesitated. Why, are you doubting my decision? Fang Yuan gave him a plain glance. This Gu master laughed. He was a Shang clansman. He was not afraid of Fang Yuan like the Xiong clan brothers. I wouldn't dare, I wouldn't dare. He cupped his fists, turning to Xianxia. If I am not wrong, Lord Fang is buying these slaves to act as subordinates for Lady Xianxia. But they are really bad news for those competing for the young master position. Lady Xianxia, you are so intelligent, what do you think? Xianxia's eyes were focused on Fang Yuan. She smiled and replied, Brother He Tu's decision is my decision. Just do as he says. Is that so? The Gu master in charge was stunned, before smiling. Since Lady Xianxia says so, I will do so accordingly. To speak the truth, I am your supporter Lady Xianxia. You are speaking too much. Fang Yuan gave the Gu master a cold stare, interrupting him coldly. He. The Gu master laughed, then I shall settle the procedures for you, but there are too many people, there will be a lot of procedures to go through, you need to wait a day. A day later. Bam! Fang Yuan raised his leg and kicked. That Gu master did not expect Fang Yuan to strike, and was caught off guard and hit on the stomach. Flying over 30 steps away, he knocked onto a bystander and landed on the ground, falling unconscious after vomiting blood. Who dares to fight in Shang Clan City? Are you tired of living? Quickly surrender yourself. Such commotion immediately attracted attention. The slave market was heavily guarded in the first place. Quickly, 3 groups of Gu masters came and surrounded them. It was me. Fang Yuan had no fear, standing up. It's Fang Zheng. The riled-up group saw Fang Yuan and immediately lost their vigor. Fang Yuan had rank 4 battle strength, they were only rank 2 and their leader who had the highest cultivation was rank 3 initial stage. They could not even be side dishes for Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan stood on the spot and took out his purple thorn token. The Shang clan Gu masters saw the token and their aura diminished once more. The leader's fierce and terrifying face quickly changed, as he smiled and politely said to Fang Yuan, Lord Fangzheng, we all know you are Shang clan's esteemed guest. But even a guest cannot resort to force in Shang clan, you even injured our clansmen. According to the rules, I will be fined 49 primeval stones. Fang Yuan immediately said. The leader was shocked, not expecting Fang Yuan to be so well versed with Shang clan's rules. Fang Yuan tossed out a bag of primeval stones, waving his hand, there are 50 primeval stones inside, keep the change. The leader received the primeval stones, feeling like a beggar. He had a shocked and dazed expression as he left with the others. If Fang Yuan did not have strength, even with the purple thorn token, he would not have gotten out of it so easily. But now that he was strong, even in Shang Clan City, if he beat up a Shang clansman, as long as it was not someone important, there would be no consequences. The Gu master in charge was beaten unconscious by Fang Yuan. The slave market quickly sent out another Gu master to attend to them. We are buying everyone in this cage. Fang Yuan pointed at the cage and said. Inside the cage, the people looked at Fang Yuan, most of them had a dazed or numb expression, but a few stared at him in rage. Fang Yuan's casual attitude of purchasing made them feel extremely humiliated. Yes, yes, yes. The new Gu master wiped his sweat as he attended to Fang Yuan politely. In less than 15 minutes, all the procedures were done. This is the rank 3 poison scorpion Gu, please keep it well Lord Fang Zheng. Lastly, the Gu master handed Fang Yuan a Gu worm. This poison scorpion Gu had a white body, like a flawless porcelain, and was the size of 2 fingers. This was a rank 3 Gu, with only one ability, defecating. The scorpion feces it produced was black as bean, it was a rank 2 Gu. The saying goes, scorpion feces are one in the world. This scorpion feces Gu, each one had a unique poison. Once used on someone, they needed the corresponding poison scorpion Gu to detoxify them once every 7 days. This was the most common method to control slaves. Although there is also the slavery Gu, with better effect, but it was rank 5. It was expensive and rare, it could not be commonly used. Poison scorpion Gu, although Xianxia could not activate it, and could not make it defecate, she could make it sting someone without using any primeval essence. Fang Yuan planned to first refine this poison scorpion Gu before passing it to Xianxia and letting her refine it. It was too difficult to let her do it herself. What did you say? Someone bought those Wei clan slaves. What did I instruct you? I told you to pay attention to them. Wait a few days for me to settle it out with Xianxia, and buy them after the situation calms down. In the study room, Shang Pu Lao had an ugly expression as he scolded the Gu master in charge. The Gu master in charge was lying on a bed with a pale expression. After being kicked by Fang Yuan, he had just woken up when Shang Pu Lao came to question him. Young Master Pu Lao, I tried my best already. I wanted to sow discord among them, but that Xianxia listened to Fang Zheng like a lamb. I tried stalling but before I finished my words, Fang Yuan sent me flying and knocked me unconscious. The Gu master in charge listlessly explained as he laid in bed. Sigh, these Wei clansmen were once authoritative figures, controlling Wei clan's operation. They have high cultivation and experience in management. If I can get them, I can create half a Wei clan myself. Among them, Wei clan's first lady Wei de Xian is most skilled at nurturing guards. Wei clan leaders' guard troops had once been famous, successfully blocking many assassination attempts, even blocking the attack of 5 rank 3 Gu masters at once. If not for that internal crisis, how could they fall apart so easily? Shang Pu Lao heaved a long sigh. I am asking you now, can the situation be salvaged? He stared sharply at the Gu master in charge. The Gu master shook his head, explaining in a crying tone, they were all brought away already, the entire procedure was proper and there were no problems at all. Young master, I have failed you. Never mind, have a good rest. Shang Pu Lao heard this and lost his interest altogether, giving a word of consolation before taking his head. Morning of the next day. In Nanqiu Gardens residential square, over 30 members of Wei clan stood. Fang Yuan and Xianxia came together. Earlier, Fang Yuan had helped Xianxia to refine the poison scorpion Gu. A rank 3 Gu was still too strong for her, thus, Fang Yuan chose some other Gu worms to assist her in controlling the poison scorpion Gu. From today onwards, Xianxia is your new master, why are you not greeting her? Fang Yuan handed the poison scorpion Gu to her in front of them. Wei clansmen slowly kneeled on the floor, paying respects to Xianxia. Their voices were listless, filled with helplessness and numbness, they were all behaving like puppets. They were banished from the clan, all these authoritative figures who lived a good life had become slaves. Their dejected and low-spirited behavior was completely natural. Looking at these people, how could anyone feel assured using them? Xianxia felt pity for them, but also worry for herself. Wei Xian, come out. I want to have a private talk with you. Fang Yuan stretched out his arm, pointing at one of the women. They suddenly became energetic, as many of their Dais's expressions became fierce and strong. What do you want? Many people moved their bodies, shielding Wei Xian. I am warning you, do not lay a finger on her. One of them pointed his finger at Fang Yuan, showing great alertness. Smack! Fang Yuan's expression turned dark, as he took a few steps forward and gave a slap. The person who pointed at him was sent flying by an overwhelming force. His mouth was full of blood as his broken teeth fell on the ground. It seems you are not clear of reality yet. Although I spent a lot of money to buy all of you, I am not against killing some of you for fun. So what if I want to do anything to your clan leader's wife, what can you do to stop me? Fang Yuan had a cruel expression and his voice was like cold as ice. You. Wei Clan's gang were outraged, some youngsters clenched their fists, but they did not dare to speak out again. All of you stand down. Wei Xian made them stand aside as she walked out. Although her face was filthy, it could not hide her beautiful peach-like appearance. She bowed to Fang Yuan. What does Lord Fangzheng need from this lowly servant? Fang Yuan snorted coldly, using a fierce gaze to inspect her body. Lady Wei, you speak too much. Just follow me and obey what I say. Saying so, he turned around. As meat on the chopping block, Wei Xian was helpless too. She gritted her teeth and followed Fang Yuan to the lake pavilion. A cool breeze blew, causing ripples on the surface of the lake. Carp swam in the lake, and lotus leaves filled the surface of the water, with red and white flower buds within the leaves. Such beautiful scenery caused Wei Xian to relax slightly. But Fang Yuan's next sentence made her nervous. He said, Lady Wei, I am very interested in you. Wei Xian quickly kneeled on the ground. This servant is lowly, it is my great honor that my appearance had attracted Lord Fangzheng's attention. But I do not dare to offer my soiled body to Lord's grand and masculine body. Ha ha ha. Fang Yuan laughed heartily. Wei Xian, don't be mistaken. I am very interested in your talent, your body and appearance is just a pair of skeleton in my eyes. Next, I want you to nurture a group of loyal female guards for Xianxia. At the same time, you have to motivate your Wei clansmen properly, tell them to work hard and have a positive attitude. Hearing Fang Yuan say so, Wei Xian breathed a sigh of relief, as she promised, yes, this servant will follow Lord's orders. He. Fang Yuan laughed deeply again, saying with deep meaning, Lady Wei, I know you are pregnant, and I know your intentions. You want to preserve your husband's only bloodline, and at the same time contact your younger brother Wei Xinjing to exact revenge for you, am I right? As he said so, Wei Xian's face went pale as her delicate body shuddered.